Radiant team ban.
Hello and welcome to a matchup between Siamo Fuori and Zig+4. My name is Radnor. I will be casting this match here this evening, and as you see, we are already underway. We see a Magnus pickup, a Magnus being banned out, as well as a Ricky. We see Batrider and Razor being banned out.
Keeper of the light.
As for our first pick for Siamo Fuori, we're going to see Keeper of the Light. We're going to see a Lifestealer being picked up by Zig+4. Pretty standard picks and bans so far. Makes sense to see your initiators banned out like Batrider and Magnus. It makes sense to see Riki banned out, and Razor can do some tremendous damage with that kinetic field, or the kinetic shock. Keeper of the Light, of course, a great support. The Illuminate has excellent push potential. We see a Bane being picked up and a Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer, of course, has great synergy with Keeper of the Light. Makes sense to see him picked up here before he was able to be banned out. He is going to be going up against a Lifestealer and Nyx Assassin, and they've got one more pick before they go into the second ban phase. Good team so far. We've got the Disable from Nyx Assassin, great gank potential from him, but we also have a Bane on the other end of the field with that Enfeeble, his Brain Sap. The Nightmare is a great Disable, but his Fiend's Grip is definitely an ultimate to not ignore. It can come in and hold you in place while just about anybody else can help drop you down. Beautiful picks so far. Expect to have a great matchup here, and we see a Gyrocopter being picked up. Gyrocopter, of course, being one of the few heroes who can melt through those illusions from Phantom Lancer in the late game. He's probably one of your best counter picks to a Phantom Lancer. That flat cannon can be leveled up and do some major damage, especially to those Phantom Lancer illusions. We see an Io being banned out as well as a Shadow Demon. No real surprise. Rubik being banned out as well as a Night Stalker. Just general heroes you don't want to be going up against. It makes sense too. You don't want to be going up against an IO combination with anybody. If he can relocate to your end of the map and cause some major damage, that can definitely set you back. We're going to see an Ancient Apparition being banned out as well as a Puck. Just, you don't want to give away that global aspect with AA. Makes sense. Puck, of course, being a phenomenal mid. When he's on that mid lane, he has great survivability.
Weaver.
And we are going to see a Weaver being picked up by Siamo Fuori. Weaver, of course, has that great survivability. He is a good damage-dealing hero, especially in the mid and early game. Even late game, he has good scalability. Tremendous survivability once he gets level 6 in that time lapse, so no surprise to see Weaver picked up here.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We're going to go into a little bit of reserve time before they pick their fourth pick for Zig+4. So far, good picks. You've got great push potential with the Phantom Lancer and Keeper of the Light. Especially with Keeper of the Light's Chakra Magic, you can keep that Phantom Lancer with a good amount of mana. Good disables coming from Bane, but we've got the same on Zig+4. We've got good disables coming from Nyx Assassin. Even the homing missile is good. We do have a Darkseer being picked up. Great pick with that Wall of Replica. It can definitely cause some major damage in a team fight. The Vacuum can help with placing your opponents where they A, don't want to be, or B, where exactly you want them. And that Ion Shell can do some major damage if you just, you know, before you even know it. So good picks so far. We've got 2 more picks left to this match, and this matchup will be underway. Again, this is a matchup between Siamo, Fuori, and Zig+4. My name is Radnor, casting this match here this evening, and I am glad to be casting this evening. Good lineup. We've got good team fight potential with Zig+4. With the lifesteal, he's got great survivability with that infest. Nyx Assassin, good disable. His Spike Carapace, of course, a good disable as well. Plus, it can keep him alive in a lot of situations. Gyrocopter, good late game damage available with him. We are going to see a Tinker pick up here. Tinker, of course, a good hero for dealing damage, especially with that March of Machines. And we do see a Lina pick up as the last pick for Zig+4. Good lineups. We've got good support coming from Darkseer, Nyx Assassin, and Lina. We also have the Keeper of the Light and the Bane for Siamo Fuori. So, no surprise to see these heroes picked up here. Definitely excited to see this matchup underway.
Ten seconds remaining.
2 pretty even teams, in my opinion. If you
5
ask,
seconds
the
remaining.
one area that's going to make a difference will be who gets the farm as it goes. If someone wins a lane, that's going to be a major advantage for the team. I'm going to look at who has who. We've got 387 on Darkseer, Musalon on Gyrocopter, Seats on Lina. We've got Zig on Lifestealer, and RMA Anyo on Nyx Assassin. For Siamo Fuori, we've got ZG Style on Keeper of the Light, Gula on Bane, Menstruction on Tinker, Watt on Weaver, and Chris on Phantom Lancer.
30 seconds to battle.
We see some quick initiation. Teams coming up here. Just pushing pressure. We do see the wards coming out. No one causing too much damage, but they are both being very aggressive in their stance here.
The battle begins.
As for laning, we're going to see Tinker mid. We do see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people with that compendium on this match. Good. I love seeing the compendium purchase. Definitely helping out for the community. We currently have in this international, the International 2013 is the largest esports competitive gaming event ever. Bigger than League of Legends, bigger than any other. It is in Dota 2. So that's something to be proud of, and a lot of that has to do with the contributions of the fans here with Dota 2. So I want to say thank you for everyone picking up the compendium. It's definitely making a difference. Get back to our lineups. We're going to see a tri-lane up top of Phantom Lancer, Bane, and Keeper of the Light going up against Darkseer on top for the Radiant side. In the mid, we're going to see a mid of Gyrocopter and Tinker. And on bottom, we're going to be seeing Lina versus the Weaver and Lifestealer. Some minor damage coming out here to Weaver. Lina, of course, being a very heavy damage dealing hero at pretty much all points. She is definitely very susceptible to damage, though. That is her major downfall. But if we look here in the laning phase, we see Phantom Lancer getting some good CS. He is tied at top for 7, keeping up with Lifestealer, even with those ion shells on the creeps. We do see Gyrocopter at 5, and pretty even across the board. Now that Tinker does have 2 points in the March of the Machines, we expect to see him being able to maybe control this creep wave a little more and keep that Gyrocopter back just a little bit more from getting that farm he needs. He's still behind in the farm. And a Rocket Barrage coming out on Tinker. Good amount of damage coming out. The March of the Machines does come out, as well as a beautifully placed laser, making it so Gyrocopter is going to have to fall back here. He did take a good amount of damage from that. Again though, that flat cannon causing tremendous damage to Tinker, sending him to hide here in the trees behind the tower. He does just pick up his bottle here though, so we're going to see him getting a little bit more survivability out of that. Down on bottom we see Lifestealer helping push the creep wave back from the tower. Definitely not a position you want to be in, is having the creep wave right up against the tower at the 3-minute mark. We still see Lifestealer at 16 CS, tied with Gyrocopter now, and the Phantom Lancer still doing a good job at trying to stay up top. Good laning so far. We do see that Weaver is behind in this lane. He's definitely losing to the Lifestealer. He is currently at 5 CS. Understandable when you've got support like Nyx Assassin with that Impale, and Lena with both her Dragon Slave and her Light Strike Array. So, no surprise to see that happening here. Phantom Lancer is going to have to fall back. He's taken a considerable amount of damage up on the top lane from that Ion Shell and Dark Seer.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's some very minor damage coming out to the mid tower. Gyrocopter actually taking more damage from the creep wave than you would expect. Tinker just having bottled up. 1 second on the March of Machines. We expect to maybe see some damage coming out here. The laser strikes Gyrocopter, the March of Machines, but the call down is going to be called down. We're going to see some major damage coming out to Tinker from the creep wave. He's at about a quarter health. Gyrocopter, of course, just about the same health. Nice laser coming from Tinker here. And we see Gyrocopter picking up a salve as well as his bottle being bottle crowed. It just shows the damage potential that Tinker has. With his bottle, he's able to heal up very quickly. And the cool thing with that laser is it not only does a great amount of damage, but it causes the hero that he attacks to miss. And it's 100% miss rate, so it's not something that you can even ignore. That's definitely something to be aware of. We're going to see Darkseer falling back. He's taken a good amount of damage. He's going to have to go back to the fountain to heal up. And that's going to give this Phantom Lancer even more of a chance to catch up on his levels. He just hits level 6. only about 3 CS behind
Dire's
the
bottom tower is under attack.
Lifestealer
Run,
down
middle
on
tower.
bottom lane.
Run.
We do see this Lifestealer is doing very well. He's got 2,025 gold. He still has 2 tangos to solve. He is doing very well down here on this bottom lane. Getting the farm that he needs.
Somebody actually died.
And Gyrocopter finally gets first blood up against the Tinker in the mid lane. Just caught him out. Gyrocopter is going to have to fall back. Both teams getting good farm right now. If we go back up to this Gyrocopter, or Phantom Lancer, I'm sorry, we're going to see that he is just doing very well on his farm.
Oh, that's not
He
good.
is on top of the CS list. We do hear the teleports come in. It's going to be Darkseer, but he's already down to half health. The Phantom Lancer is causing a good amount of damage. If we look at wards coming out, we see a good ward here from the Dire, as well as one for the rune spawn up here. We've got initiation coming down on the bottom lane, trying to keep that Lifestealer back from...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. That's not gonna hold.
The Illuminate coming out, helping push the creep wave forward, but they weren't able to get the kill on the hero they want, and that was Lifestealer.
Should really do something about
Lifestealer
that
was
middle tower.
able to get away. We do see Gyrocopter coming up here to pick up. Oh, and here comes the ward finally for this rune. We are going to see a single shot coming out of Lina to send Tinker back. And the Invis does come out on Gyrocopter. He is going to be coming here to initiate on Tinker. The call down comes in. He's going to hit him with the Rocket Barrage, and Tinker is down before the second call down strike even happens. Gyrocopter, of course, able to just wait for that March of Machines to end. He's going to go in with that flat cannon. Keeper of the Light coming in to help just with the Illuminates, but Keeper of the Light is at a major disadvantage here. He's only at level 4. We see the homing missile coming in.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. It has no arms to defend itself.
He's going to make it well past the tier 2 tower, though. The teleport of Tinker does come in, and Lina just got a kill on Weaver down on the bottom lane.
Seen better days.
You do see the sentry wards are out, trying to keep an eye for that Weaver here. They do not want to let him get the levels that they need. And again, if we look at this Lifestealer, he's got almost 2,900 gold. He is just almost unopposed farming down in this bottom lane. We also see up here on top, the Phantom Lancer is doing tremendous with 61 CS. He is, even with Darkseer here, Darkseer is at a huge disadvantage with a level 8 Phantom Lancer, and we see a level 6 Darkseer. We do see the Soul Ring up on Phantom Lancer, giving him that extra mana that he needs. He does have the Tranquil Boots as well. No real surprise there. He's basically just avoiding the Ion Shell of Darkseer. Brings Darkseer down to about 2/3 health just in one of his level 4 Spirit Lances. No real surprise there. This Phantom Lancer will be growing. If this match continues to go into a late game at all, 25-30 minutes, you expect to see this Phantom Lancer just grow beyond any chance of being able to be controlled. Gyrocopter is one of the few heroes who can keep up, but his farm is just so much lower. He's at 54 CS as opposed to the 72 CS of this Phantom Lancer. So he is definitely going to be the hero to watch, even with
Killing spree.
this team being behind and the Tinker falling continually to this Gyrocopter in mid. He just falls again.
Dire's middle tower is all alone in the world, being attacked.
They are doing what they have to do. It is currently 4-0.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
If we look at the gold difference, we've got over 2,000 gold in way of the Radiant, and in XP we've got over 5,000 XP difference in way. But still, it's the Phantom Lancer's game. He can come in even with a major disadvantage. We haven't seen any towers fall yet. We do see some towers at about half health coming out here, full health on the bottom. No real pressure to any of the tier 1 towers, about a quarter on each. But up top, we do see this Phantom Lancer trying to take down this Darkseer. Darkseer, of course, hanging way back behind his tower, doing what he has to do. And Gyrocopter got a kill on Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light came to mid to defend this tier 1 tower here. But going up when you are only a level 5, going up against a level 12 Gyrocopter, not a smart thing as a Keeper of the Light. Keeper, of course, has very good damage potential, but still, when someone that is 7 levels ahead of you, especially a Gyrocopter, you cannot expect to be doing too well. We're going to see Bane coming in. Bane is going to deter back. We do see Nyx Assassin come up top. He's able to get the kill with his Vendetta on the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer, of course, thought that he was all alone. There is no wards, nothing going on up here. So Phantom Lancer was left a little high and dry there. We do see the homing missile coming in on Keeper of the Light. It's going to come and hit him well behind the tower. Nyx Assassin and Gyrocopter coming up from the jungle. They want to get a drop on. The call down is coming out on Keeper of the Light. And Keeper of the Light falls very quickly.
But it doesn't look good.
And
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And it looks like Keeper of the Light just calling it quits after this matchup. Even though it's 7-0, he is not willing to continue on this match. He just steps out, and that looks like that. The GG was called. They could have had the potential if they could have kept up with that Phantom Lancer up top. He, of course, was still growing, still getting the farm. He was on top of the CS charts. But without a team to back him up, this match is over. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. It was a good matchup. Very aggressive play from Zig+4. As you saw, it was good picks overall. They did what they had to do in the early game to suppress the Phantom Lancer, and especially to keep that Tinker down in the mid lane. No surprise to see
Dire's bottom tower doesn't even have arms to defend itself. What a brave tower.
to see Siamo, Fuori call it quits at this point. They might have been able to come back if the match would have kept going. They might have been able to have had a comeback if it had gone to a really late game, but they just weren't going to wait for that. And you can't blame them. It was just a losing battle the further it went. I do want to thank you for tuning in. My name is Radnor. You can follow me on Twitch and YouTube. I have videos on there, and you can always shoot me a message on Steam.